Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Greetings, everyone, from the Black Lion Studios. This is James Holmes Jr. from Black Lion Inc. and its subsidiaries. And with me, I have the esteemed Ray Robinson. No, I didn't miss words on that name. That's really his name, Ray Robinson. And Ray is the founder and CEO of Future Group United. Um, Ray, first of all, before we really get going, do you want to just introduce yourself?
Oh, yes. Like I said, my name is Ray Robinson. Originated from Gary, Indiana. I've been in Minnesota for about 30 years now. And the Future Group United is a vision that was given to me. And I just want to do a little presentation and give some little dialogue in regards to the Future Group United.
Very cool. It's amazing sometimes the path that God just has for us. You know, the certain people that we encounter and we run into. And I think my meeting with Ray was pretty much that way. Would you kind of agree?
Right.
And so when we started talking originally, and he was telling me about some of the things that he was working on, and I was like, wow, this, if nothing else, this brother thinks big, and that's one of the things that I guess I commonly mention to my mentor group and things like that is don't have your thoughts too small, don't have your vision too small, don't have your plans too small. And that was one of the first things I said to him. I'm like, you know what, bro? Nobody's going to accuse you of having your vision too small.
Exactly.
Do you want to speak on that, Ray?
Yeah, that's kind of the premise of the Future Group United is that I believe we've been going too small, right? We feel that our issues as a community and as a people, as a race, is astronomical, right? So we have to meet it head on. So we feel that the plan, we feel that the strategies, and we feel that the vision has to be as big.
Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about Future Group in the design, in the actual vision for Future Group.
Well, it's a big vision, so I can give a little clips, a little synopsis of it. First and foremost, the Future Group United is a collective ownership group. We believe that our power lies within our collective as a people, as a whole. We feel that we have a lot of people doing a lot of great things all over the country, all over the nation, in a lot of different fields. A lot of people that's doing boots on the ground, a lot of people that's grassroots organizations, nonprofits, businesses, a lot of those things. But we feel that we're spread it too thin, right? We have a lot of people doing a lot of different things, but we have nothing really that is centralized, right? And the Future Group United wants to be that centralized hub so we can be able to leverage our power, our numbers, and our resources and our dollars. And that's kind of the premise of the Future Group United is being a home, a centralized hub, an economic epicenter where everybody can be involved, everybody's resources and power can be in one source, a power brand that we can utilize and use leverage for us to be able to all enjoy some economic success.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's well put, well put. Do you mind if I show your logo here?
Yeah.
Now, one thing about it, but another thing is, I'm going to show you his logo. You can't help but to like that. Obviously, it could have passed for the Black Lion logo, and I promise you, he didn't know where I was going, and I didn't know where he was going.
Right.
But just look at the similarities in that logo. I think that is that is pretty awesome. That is really pretty awesome. So Ray, we understand that you You have some beautiful plans and colossal plans. Hats off to you, no doubt about that. So tell me, as far as a timetable, Ray, do you have a general outline as far as when you really want to start getting things in motion with the Future Group United?
Well, it's been in motion, right? For the last 8 months, I've been laying the foundation, doing the groundwork, putting everything together as far as corporations being incorporated, the nonprofit, tax attorneys, bank accounts, getting connections in different fields, talking to banks. So basically, just laying the groundwork, getting the foundation started so we can build. As far as being established and given to the public, we're looking at doing a crowdfunding campaign starting next week.
Okay.
And that's when we want to present to the public and open it up and give the nation. This will be a national agenda. This will be a national corporation, and we want to open it up to the nation.
All right, that's very cool. Now that we've heard about Future Group, tell us about Ray Robinson. Who is Ray Robinson? How'd you get that cool name? And who is Ray Robinson? Just tell us a little bit about how you got from the beginning to where you are now, Ray.
Well, the name comes from my daddy, Proud Jr., Ray Robinson. Like I said, I'm from Gary, Indiana. I'm 45 years old. I am an entrepreneur. I have a basketball organization. I deal with youth, boys and girls. I have a tournament company, and then I also have a food company also. So that's personally, that's what I do. As far as the Future Group and the vision, I've always been someone that cared about the community, cared about our people, and just had that in my spirit and in my blood of just about championing for other people and being somewhat of a leader in my community. And I felt like I've always had it in me to go further with it. I wouldn't call myself an activist. I would call myself a realist. Reality.
That's profound.
I feel that just to be honest, after George Floyd, it sparked something in me. I've already was in that mind frame of always thinking like, why don't black people really come together and really do something powerful, right?
Wow.
As a collective.
Yeah.
That's always been on my mind. And after the George Floyd situation, James, I like I said, I own a food company, so I went down to the George Floyd site and cooked food for the community for a couple of times, handed out food, and within that situation, being down there, the atmosphere, and seeing all the sights, seeing all the people, seeing the hurt, seeing the pain, and then to be honest, I really have to be honest though, I felt powerless. I felt, just coming from a man, we come from a certain, most of us come from a certain area. I felt like a punk.
Wow.
I felt powerless because I felt like we were doing the status quo. We was doing the same thing, right? Marching, coming up, giving out food, chanting, signs, things of that nature. And
you preaching now, man.
In my spirit, it just didn't feel right. And it don't feel right. It still don't feel right because I feel like we're going right back into our lives. The George Floyd situation has died down. Breonna Taylor's situation has died down, and we're going right back to our lives. And that just didn't sit well with me. Every day it still don't sit well with me because I feel powerless. I feel like as black people, as black men, we're this is happening on our watch.
Yes.
Right? And I feel like we have the remedy and we have the fix to this. And the fix to this and the remedy to this is a collective movement. And the movement has to be entrenched into economics first, education, and then our safety. And that's what the Future Group United wants to facilitate and manage for us.
Man, I think it's ingenious. Personally, myself, it's like a key code. We are so very fragmented as a people, and I know you and I, we've you know, off the record, chopped it up about that,
Right.
And we had some real discussions, and and I mentioned to you one of the reasons why Black Lion moves the way that it moves is so that we can continue to be boots on the ground. We don't have to ask for permission to help people and to try to get things done. And a lot of times we move fairly silently, and a lot of times, really the majority of the time without even our fellow brothers, because like Harriet Tubman said, is that, she freed a lot of slaves, but how many more could she have freed?
If they knew they were slaves.
Right, that if they knew they were actually slaves, right.
Exactly.
And so I'll be honest with you, I tend not to just want to just wait around for that.
Exactly.
So I still feel like I got to do what I got to do. And when we first started chopping up, and you said, "Hey, we got to come together," there's got to be something central to unify us. And I'm like, to unify us?
Exactly.
Us as a broken people?
Mm-hmm.
Us as a divided people? And you talking about unifying us?
Right.
And so basically I was like, you know what, bro? Props. Because, I mean, you guys know that I'm like Mr. Confident. And I'm out there chopping trees down, making moves and so forth as quickly and as efficiently as possible, and helping as many people as possible, bringing along as many people as possible. But when this brother said, yeah, James, we all gonna have to work together, and I'm like, do I have to? And so literally at that moment I realized this brother, he knows what he's talking about, and there's gonna be plenty of guys like me. We're gonna have to humble ourselves and find a way to work together. Find a way to work together. And this is one of the few times where I think I will straight up admit this brother sees things bigger than me, even. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there, but I'm looking at this cat, and he's right here.
Right.
And he sees a bigger picture than I do, and I thought I saw a big picture. I really do. Any thoughts on that, Ray?
That's a very, very big point, Brother James. And you're not alone in that. It's a lot of us that feel that way. But in my spirit and in the vision is that we can't let that stop us from doing it, right? But it is a natural and it's a legitimate feeling. I done told my idea, the vision to a lot of friends and a lot of people that I know, and none of them have never said that that's not a good idea. All of them have said, man, that sounds awesome, man. That's great, man. That's what we need, man. All of them say
right,
that.
How are we gonna do it?
Right, but the overwhelming, and I understand it, the overwhelming feeling is, our people ain't is not gonna act right. That's the overall feeling.
Guilty.
Our people, what you mean?
I'm
You mean
guilty of saying that. That's why I have to humble myself and listen to this brother.
Unify our people. What? Do it together. What? And it's sad that it's like that, but that's what reality, that what nature has shown us and grew us to be as a people. But
And we've been getting divided for 400 years.
for a long time, and even before that, right? But what this is about is that this is what the Future Group United is going to be different, right? Black people have no other connector except our color. Our color is not going to get us nowhere. For these next centuries is not going to help us just being black, right? Color cannot be our connector. That's first and foremost. Second of all is that the Future Group United wants to eliminate all divisive tools, all divisiveness, okay? Those main divisive tools that they use, first and foremost, will be religion.
Brother, that's another level.
Religion.
You're all on another level now.
Okay, the Future Group United will be a non-religious, non-denominational, we don't care what religion you are, okay? That's first and foremost. We're going to eliminate that divide. We don't care what religion you are. You're welcome into the Future Group United, okay? Second of all, how they divide us is by, and this doesn't go in order, but by politics, right? Very big one, how they divide us. Are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat? Do you not believe? You don't vote at all? They divide us within politics. The Future Group United will be an agenda that has no political barriers, we're nonpartisan, we don't deal within politics, right? That's going to be a divide that we take out. Third thing is, are your sexuality or we should say your living wage, your economics, right? So we got rich black people, we have middle class black people, we have poor black people. They divide us within that too, right? We want to eliminate that. We want to eliminate those dividers, right? Your sexuality, we don't care about your sexuality. Married, straight, gay, single, it doesn't matter, right? We're eliminating that, right? Also, within our economic status, they try to divide us within, just like they divide within themselves, they try to divide us, right? The rich stay to the rich. They move out to the suburbs. They don't have to deal with the middle class, with the poor. The poor get left behind. The middle class feel good because they done left the poor, and now they're not poor per se. They're not poor anymore, you know. And it just goes in steps, and that's how they divide us, you know. Which, in essence, what we've seen though, and I love that's how reality and nature works. When the rich get affected, just like the poor, right? When the middle class get affected, just like the poor, so they recognize, no, you're not different. You're not better than us, okay? And that's what I love about nature, how it evens out the field, right? It shows people, no, you're not different, you're not better, right? Because your economic status or your job or your career title. We have a lot of black people who hide behind their career titles.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
Oh man.
And we want to eliminate that divide. The Future Group United is an all-inclusive agenda that is for black Americans and our offspring. And we are not going to be apologetic about building something for ourselves. That's something big too. Family, we have to recognize that our white friends, our brown friends, our native friends, these are our friends. We are still in partnership with you guys and friendship with you guys, but we have to build something for ourselves. We have to build something for ourselves and not feel guilty about that, right? And I challenge anyone too to any other race that's your friends that has a problem with that shows a little something.
Yeah.
Because no one should have any problem about you taking care of your own first, taking care of home 1st, right? And that's the kind of
It's interesting. I think I think there's going to be both. There'll be some that will have issues with it, but I think there's a pretty decent amount that won't have issue with it. I mean, I was having a pretty high level discussion slash debate with one of our Jewish brothers, and we were just, I mean, because the thing, some of our history gets complicated.
It does.
And so we're talking about some of that stuff. And one of the things that he mentioned, and I had no rebuttal, is he says, is it not right that everyone should have their self-interest first?
That's
That's
law.
So, like, if you're in the Jewish culture, for example, straight up, that is the way that they raise their kids. Their whole community is family and community first, and then they go out from that.
Every other race does that.
Every other group does that, really, except us. In is anyone offended? No. If Asians come in and they start their own little area and group and support their own businesses and grow off from there, does anyone say anything? No.
They do it all the time.
Absolutely. And so, same with us. Same with us. But I think there's going to be some of our other fellow brothers with different complexions out there that will still be cheering us on, because
most definitely.
Most candidly, like, say, for example, you look at our Jewish situation is, with all the money that we have, okay, $1.3 trillion a year passes through black hands. 1.3 trillion. But we have little to nothing to show for it. And every movement, every civil rights movement that blacks have been funded by Jews. Is that crazy? I'm not making that up.
Right? I already know that.
They've been funded by Jews. We've never funded our own, with the exception of maybe some things going on with, like, the NOI and that type of stuff.
Just like Black Lives Matter, that's funded by a billionaire
Jewish.
I don't even know if he's Jewish, but
no, he's Jewish.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
Yeah, and he's not the only funder, but he's the big money behind it.
Right.
And we're not saying that's positive, negative, good or bad. We're just talking about reality and facts and so forth. And at some point, we're going to have to help ourselves. We're going to have to. And when we do that, we're doing ourselves a favor, and we're doing all our other brothers a favor. We're doing all our lighter complexion brothers and our Native brothers and our Hispanic brothers and our Asian brothers.
Exactly.
We're doing all them a favor too.
Exactly.
Because we're helping ourselves, and we're not just sitting there just waiting for a handout. Because, as I often say, if you accept the hand that feeds you, you give them permission to starve you also. So we have enough resources. It's just a matter of us being more unified, bro. So I think it's like just mad profound, your whole concept and what you got going here, and I can't wait for more people to start seeing it and hopefully coming on board. So tell us this, Brother Ray. If somebody wants to come on board or get more information or maybe even donate, what's the best way to contact you and do any of that?
Well, right now, give me my phone number is 612-442-0793. We have a Facebook group. We want everyone to join the Facebook group. That is the Future Group United. We also have a website, which is futuregroupunited.com. We do have an email also, which is onenation@thefuturegroupunited.com, and you can reach us through that. I'd like to give just a little closing real quick. Um, so, like I mentioned earlier, that we're going to officially present this to the public next week, and we're asking three asks from the public. The first ask is that we're asking everyone. Again, I'm old school. I'm not old, but I'm old school. Social media and all of that. I'm kind of. I got a what's the name relationship, a funny relationship with it. I know we need it, but I kind of don't like it. But we want to build. We know we're in that era, so we have to build up awareness. So that's our first thing, getting the word out and awareness out. So the first ask that we're asking is that everyone gets connected to all our social media platforms and get involved into the Facebook group. That's the first ask, and to share and like and subscribe to our posts and to our channel. We're going to have a YouTube channel, and we're just asking everyone to get connected with all social media platforms. That's the first ask. The second ask that we're asking is all the people that do get into our social media, that we're asking you to bring along 10 friends or 10 family members to encourage them to join the group and to get connected to all social media pages and to share, like, and subscribe to our posts and to our videos and to our channel. The third ask that we're asking is that we're going to be doing a crowdfunding initiative to raise funds for our first build out. The Future Group United wants to facilitate building of our own business entities, our own independent institutions. That's the whole narrative of the Future Group United. We should be ownership, partnership, or nothing. If we don't own it, we should be partners in it, or we don't deal with it. And that's the premise of the Future Group United. And we want to facilitate and manage that for us all. So that is our premise: independent institutions, and to have our own business entities in all business sectors that we do commerce in, that we do business in, right? We want to own our own. And that's the premise. So we're starting a crowdfunding initiative next week, where we have merchandise, that we have T-shirts, we have some special sweatshirts and hats. And what we want to do, people, is that we want to use that to fund our first build outs. And we have a couple of business deals that's on the table that we're working on, that we want you guys to be a part of, that we can talk about further. But it's a couple of building opportunities, purchasing some land opportunities that we're looking into. So that crowdfunding will be the jump off for that. So what we're asking is this: we know we have, and this will be national, and nationwide. But to start in Minnesota, what we're asking, we know we got over 400,000 black people in Minnesota, right? We're asking for everybody. We want everybody, but we're asking for at least half. We're asking for half of our population to spend $50 and buy a piece of merchandise or more, but at least spend $50, purchase a piece of merchandise from the Future Group United. That will do two things. That will be getting awareness out, our brand out, getting everybody to see the logo and the brand, and then also we're going to be using those funds to purchase a piece of land that we're looking at building out, some condominiums, some gym space. We got some joint venture deals that we're looking at, but we want to build a condominium complex with some offices underneath office buildings. Our first gym, we want to brand, we're building brands. So just like Planet Fitness and Lifetime, we will have our first gym underneath the condos, and then we want to have our health food coffee and health food store that will be branded also. So those funds will be going to that. We're looking to raise $10 million to $20 million. Now, if you do the math on that, that's why I said we want half of our population and our allies, our other ethnic groups, our friends, our brown brothers and sisters, our native brothers and sisters, our Asian brothers and sisters, that they can be of help too and donate and purchase also. But we're asking half of our population, 200,000 people times $50 is $10 million. It's that simple. It's that simple. It takes $50 from each one of us. And that's what we're going to be asking. And what we want to do again, take that 10 million and start our build out and start building out our business portfolio that will be including everyone. We're going to talk a little bit more about that a little further on our next show that we do, Brother James.
Okay.
But that's just a small little clips of what we're trying to do and what we're bringing to the table. We're not selling anything. We're not selling anything. I don't want people to have to be sold, and then also that we have to, you're not doing this for me. This is not Ray's, right? The Future Group United is a collective ownership group. The name is the collective. It's for us. So you will be spending $50 and you'll be giving $50. This will be for your family. This will be for your kids. This will be for your grandkids. Another thing how they divide us, Brother James, is we all don't have to agree on everything. Sure. We don't have to like each other, right? If we have to wait on people to like everybody, we will never get nothing done.
Oh man!
So the whole premise is that we are going into this economically as a collective to build and to invest in us, and that's what the premise is. So you don't have to like me, right? I don't have to like you, right? We're going to be in concert though in business on saving our babies and saving our race, right? And being in protection of us as a community, and that's what it's about.
No one can save us from us, for us, but us.
But us, by us.
Brother Ray, I
us.
appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that mad vision, yes, and that mad wisdom. So you guys, there you have it. You got his contact information. This is a cold dude right here, Ray Robinson. So thank you, Brother Ray. And as normal, you guys pray for me. I'll pray for you. We're grateful for every day. Thank you very much. Peace.